here is why your deals don't go anywhere, okay? Now, to give you some context, I had a pretty interesting back and forth conversation on LinkedIn recently with someone that had engaged on a piece of content. And when I asked them what their biggest challenge was, they said that for them, they were able to get plenty of meetings booked, but their challenge was getting their deals to go anywhere, okay? Now, the brass tacks is there's two things missing, okay? If your deals aren't freaking going anywhere, there are two things missing. Actually, sorry, three things, all right? And I'm going to show you how to remedy these three things right now on this video. Item number one, you don't have enough pain, okay? Now, there is a difference between your customer saying, we need to do this, and them saying, if we don't do this, these are all the impacts. These are all the problems. They're like two very different things. And this is something that a lot of younger reps get wrong, which is they think that an initiative is pain. No, an initiative is not pain. A goal is not pain. If they say, yeah, we want to achieve X outcome, that's not pain. That is a goal. They want to achieve an outcome. The pain is when you go, okay, what's the biggest thing stopping you from achieving that right now? Like, why haven't you achieved that right now? Obviously, you don't want to ask them that question that bluntly, but you can ask them the question around what's the biggest thing or the top three blockers internally or externally that affect you from getting to that outcome. That will tell you what their actual business pain is, okay? Now, the second thing that is missing, and I'll tie it back to this document that I'm sharing in front of you, okay? Because this is my favorite document to use to figure out if I have a legitimate deal or I just have, I'm hope casting, okay? The second biggest thing is genuine urgency. You don't have genuine burning urgency. And urgency doesn't look like you saying, or you telling your manager, I think that the customer will do it by this point, and here's a bit of a vague reason for why. It can't be your answer. It can't be your understanding of why the deal is going to get done. It's got to be the customer's understanding of why this deal is going to be done, right? And when it comes to uncovering urgency, I've talked about this many a time in my discovery modules or my discovery videos, and I'll maybe link them down below, or I might put it on the screen somewhere. Don't click off this one, but definitely go watch that later. When you close out your discovery, you need to be asking what I like to call high-level project viability questions. And that looks like asking questions such as, hey, is this a budgeted project, right? Or Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, regardless of solution, do you have a date by which you need to have this problem solved? If they say, yeah, we need to have this problem solved by this date, then you can go back to the budgeted project question and say, okay, so would it be fair to say that this is a budgeted project, like it's on the roadmap, or is this something that is still in the works? Another follow-up question to that is you could ask something on the lines of, hey, how much support across the various teams or across the organization is there to solve this problem? Who else acknowledges this? Oh, the CEO acknowledges this. Right. That is a high-level problem. If the CEO of a company says this needs to be solved, you know that someone's going to get fired if it's not solved. Like, these are all questions you can ask at the end of the discovery, provided you've actually uncovered some real pain. You can start to understand how legitimate is the urgency, which is really this bucket, right? And so going back to this slide that is in front of you, this artifact here is probably one of my favorite artifacts to get these questions answered. Why anything? Meaning the pain. Like, why do they need to do anything? Right? What is the driver for them to even move a muscle? The other one is why now? Why do they need to do anything now? And if you can answer those two questions, if you can get super freaking clear on those two questions, then you start to have the skeleton of a deal. Now, obviously you need more. You need to be able to articulate your solution to both the pain and the urgency, and you need to be able to show them that you are uniquely positioned to solve their problems really effectively, more effectively than anyone in the market. And then there's obviously the commercial element, any sort of technical testing. But if you miss these two elements, your deals are your deals are gonna fall over. Your deals are gonna consistently lag. You're not going to get deals done on time. Your forecasting is gonna be shot. Like, all of this goes back to being able to answer these two questions. And this is personally one of my favorite artifacts. One of my favorite artifacts to use to surface this stuff. Okay, like, now, I don't typically use this artifact in a discovery. Like, this is an internal artifact. I would usually use this a little bit later in the sales cycle. Sometimes in a demo, if I've had a really hot discovery. More often than not, I would use it in the post-demo feedback meeting. I would definitely use this in the go, no go meeting, okay? Now, if any of those terminologies catching you off guard and you're going, what the hell are these things? Don't worry. I talk about all of this stuff. I have something called the Tech Sales Checklist. It's free. If you would like to understand the exact playbook, whether you're a commercial account executive, a small business account executive, or a first-time SDR or a second-time SDR, go down below and download the Tech Sales Checklist. That will help you get clarity depending on what it is you do and what your goals are into your role, how to attack your role, whether you're an account executive, whether you're an SDR, whether you're a small business account executive. I've got everything there for you, including all of these assets. So if you want to download this as well, that's part of the checklist. Anyways, I hope that helps. This is a pretty quick video. I just want to cut straight to the point, okay? Do not make this mistake of missing pain and missing the urgency by not asking those right questions, because then your deals will lag. And the best way to figure out if you have that information, use the 3 whys. When you put information on a page, you can't hide. Like, you've got 3 boxes, and that means that if you can't fill it up with their inputs, if you can't fill it up with what the customer has told you, you don't have them, which means you have deal gaps. And if you have deal gaps, you don't have a deal. You can't forecast it, okay? Hope that was useful. Keep watching for more tech sales content. And if you really need help and you want to understand what's going on in your deals, book some time with me down below. Not a sales call. I treat the first call as value. If you like what I say, if you get value from it and you want to explore it further, then we can have a chat after that around what it is tech sales you can do for you. But otherwise, book some time with me and let's just have a yarn. And I hope this video was useful.